What's up, everybody? I am James Hake. Are we live on YouTube? I think we are. This is the Hake Report, and it is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. It's Wednesday, April 13th, 2022 AD. Wednesday, guys. Hope you enjoyed the J.C. Lee Peterson show. If you caught it, an excellent manhood hour and excellent opening segment as well. And excellent second hour, too. Archive Sunday service today on the Bond YouTube channel. By the way, the blog post is on the Bond website, rebuildingtheman.com/church, rebuildingtheman.com/church, as well as rebuildingtheman.substack.com. Did you know that Bond is on Substack? And that nice, easy way to catch all the current and throwback church episodes. I'm going to talk about the targeting of the trans young people today. A little bit. Because that guy, I call him a guy, Lia Thomas. Did you know that Lia is from the name William? Wil Lia M. What a mess. Terrible. It's not good. Poor, misguided soul, right? Poor, unfortunate souls. To reference, I spit while laughing. To reference that old Disney movie, The Little Mermaid. I ran away from home and watched that movie with some friends. And, you know, a couple of blacks called into my show having the gall and the nerve and the gall to bring up child molesters. Well, I have a story. They're not black perps, but it's a woman and a POC. Not good. Up in the Bay Area, I want to say, California. Just happened to see it on the Epic Times little headline there. And I have a daily dose of Ukraine propaganda for you to reiterate. A little bit more info than what I said on the Hake News. And Oxfam pushing out propaganda. Oxfam, you guys ever heard of Oxfam? Don't trust them. They're a fake equality group. Please. And some other things. Gilbert Gottfried died. Did you guys like him? Did you guys like him? That guy with that wild voice? and some other TMZ style news, right? And I have to give a hat tip to TKR Official on Telegram and Real Vincent James over there on Telegram as well. Good information that they're sharing out over there on that social media platform, Russian social media platform, and your calls, guys. But anyway, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. It's Wednesday. I always like Wednesdays because at 4 p.m. Pacific, we have the Bond Archive Sunday services, as I mentioned at the beginning of this stream here. I have some super chats to read to you that I will be reading shortly here, guys. Interesting super chats. You can super chat through streamlabs.com/The Hake Report and or Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@The Hake Report. And if you want to try Subscribe Star, by the way, thank you guys for supporting over there, Hake over there on Subscribe Star. You can also support JLP over there on Subscribe Star. We were recently both banned, along with the Fallen State page, from Patreon. Shameful. But shout out to the subscribers. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention the subscribers by name or not. But shout out to, I guess this is not doxing, Pork Chop Express. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. That's cool that you joined. I have 6 subscribers on Subscribe Star. That means I can get paid once I earn more than quote unquote, get donated more than $100. Very cool. Right on. Shout out to Groy Page, just Willie Pal, Lord Bibby 42, and the rest of you, Heraclitus Alpha. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you. And the rest. Shout out, guys. That's cool. Subscribestar.com/The Hake Report. I have been putting out exclusive content, just walking through the neighborhood around here, right? And getting perhaps even like a little bit more personal. So you might like it. That's cool. Chuckling because I'm seeing some of the chats and things. But before I get to calls, hang tight, guys. You can call in. Let me tell you about them targeting the trans people. I laugh because look at this guy. This is from Hake News at the end of hour 1. Look at this 6'1" college swimmer known as Lia Thomas. Look at this guy. He's like almost as big as Chris. He's maybe got 1 inch on Chris in height. And this guy's bigger than Hake and Hake and Anchor Baby combined. He could probably lift both of us. This is that 6'1" Will, who took the name William and took the middle 3 letters, or some of the 3 letters in the name, W-I-L-L-I-A, Lia M. William, and just stole from that and called it Lia Thomas. And of course, they say before her transition, according to this gossip next door outlet. But they're the only ones who are letting. I go on Wikipedia for this guy, and they don't say what he was born as. So I don't know what. Maybe it's not a source. Maybe the mainstream media doesn't want to say what his real name is or his so-called birth name. I don't know if he's even legally changed his name, right? But nobody else. I guess they want to prevent dead naming. Dead naming is when you say dead naming is when you say Bruce Jenner, for example, because Bruce changed his name legally to Caitlyn. But come on, I respect him too much to call him by a girl name. You know, you don't go along with people's delusions in that way. Hake is average height. Yeah, thank you. Above average if you compare me to some of the Mexicans and Asians around here. Not that they're all shorter than me, but many. Yeah, so he became the first so-called transgender athlete to win NCAA Division I title. Dang, I remember when I was coming out of high school or coming out of Pasadena City College, I was like, oh, I want to run cross country, right? Or track. I want to run NCAA or NC2A Division I because that's the best one. And other people are like, no, just run NAIA. Then you can be in the top of the trash heap. But at least you'll have a better time because you'll be winning. Feel better about yourself. Bunch of dumb ego stuff, right? On many sides. I don't even know if I would have cared about running and stuff were it not for being pushed into running and stuff. You know, you get caught up in whatever you're doing. But I took it as, you know, the Bible says, because I was trying to be a Christian in like high school even, although I wasn't reading the Bible much back then. It was like, whatever you do, you know, and everything that you do, do it all as unto the Lord. I wonder if this Wil Lia Thomas guy is a Christian or was raised a Christian. Look at that face. Is that a face of a normal white Christian or is he something else? Don't know. In the latest move targeting trans athletes, the base Pennsylvania House yesterday passed a bill that would prohibit transgender girls, they say, males, which is males, from competing in female sports, striking a nerve with several trans advocacy organizations. So dumb. The birth name of Lia Catherine Thomas is William Wil Thomas. Will for short, right? According to Gossip Next Door, which I had never heard of this outlet before. During a conversation with her parents, his, Lia, meaning Will, rolled through a list of potential names for her, him. Wow, he's talking to his parents like this. You know the woman, you know the mother's running the show there, right? Even if the father's like pushing it, the woman in the father, female mindset in the father, right? Satan mindset. The serpent. None of the other names captured the spirit, as Sports Illustrated writes. I guess Sports Illustrated did a feature. Degenerate Sports Illustrated. Shameful. First, he came up with the first name Lia from Wil Lia M and loved it. Shameful. She chose the middle name Catherine because it was his mother's birth name. I'm shaking my head. What do you mean, like maiden name? Shaking my head double. Furthermore, Will started using his name on New Year's 2020. He told SI, Sports Illustrated, it's a milestone in a very long process of transitioning where you feel like this is who I am. This is what the gays always say. Oh, this is who I am. That's not who you are. And I used to think it was what you are, but then, when you're degenerate like that, but that's not even what you are. It's just a state you're in. It's a thing that you fell into. Thank God for church with JLP, right? Some sense, some clarity. Who I am, and I'm going to live this. In a way, it was sort of a rebirth. I remember a former guest on the Jesse Lee Peterson show who detransitioned, who turned all woman because his grandmother or mother dressed him up in dresses, and so he thought that he was a woman. Walt Heyer. Walt, short for like Walter, I think. Heyer, Heyer, I think. Kind of like Heather Heyer, but Walt Heyer. He turned into a woman, and then he turned back into a man. A fake woman, obviously. You can't actually turn into a woman. A sort of rebirth. This Walt Heyer guy said that it was like you felt such a relief and such so anew, right? Rebirth. You do need a rebirth. For the first time in my life, feeling fully connected to my name and who I am, and living who I am Lia. Call me Kate, says Bruce Jenner. Will's narrative has also turned into a right-wing fixation, namely Hake. No, I'm not fixated on it, but I like to cover it a little bit. Regular appearances on Fox News. Not for interviews, I don't think. Has William been on Fox News for an interview, or just his photograph and that clip of him like beating out the other female swimmer by like more than a lap? Crazy. He lapped the woman, the second place woman. Ridiculous. Conservative news outlets have often referred to her as a man and dead named her, purposely using the name he used. Oh, him. Dead named him. Man, it's hard reading this mess. They're programming us before transitioning. What a fake world, huh? What a fake world. Another quick story, guys. Let me just plow through this. Child molester school. Bulldoze the child molester school. No. This is from the Epic Times. Actually, NTD. I forget what that stands for. California teacher arrested for allegedly molesting 7 students. And this is not a male teacher, as is so often a female. I'm shaking my head. I'm assuming that that's a female, right? Because you can't exactly tell nowadays. What an unfortunate situation that this young lady, and I use the term loosely, it is a purportedly white. I don't know. Maybe not a normal white, but the name of this, well, I'll play the clip for you. But look at that. Allegedly molesting 7 students. And I don't really like this topic much, but it was, the blacks brought it up yesterday on my show. You know that. And I'm like, well, actually, and I shared a graph from Asmodor's super chat, about them, the POCs and the Hispanics do way more than the whites. Whites are underrepresented among child molesters, FYI. But people want to say, oh, whites do that. It's not the first time at this school, too. I have another picture of another dude who, not a white, at least not a full-blown white, did this before at this same school up in the Bay Area. Makes me wonder if all of this LGBT loosey-goosey morals, not morally straight propaganda up there in that Bay Area. I don't know, but it makes me think that it kind of leads to other things being perhaps more rampant. This is a photograph of what is that? Are those pimples on this guy? Ronald David Guinto. What is that, a Filipino or something, or a Hispanic, or a Asian Hispanic, or white Asian Hispanic mix, or something? Back in 2015, he was in court, 38 years old, serving a 931-year sentence, almost 1,000 years, after being convicted in 2017 of molesting 15 boys when he was their teacher at this Richmond, California school. Richmond, California. I guess that's the Bay Area. He worked at the charter school from 2011 to 2013. See, and then he was in court in 2015, 4 years after he did this mess. Think about how these people and people in general, the general you, get away with things or think you're getting away with things, and then boom, 2017, years later, convicted. He used a youth program that he founded called Camp Eric. His name is Ronald David Guinto. Used a youth program called Camp Eric as a ruse to get close to his preferred victim type, mostly boys ages 11 to 12, according to police. What a mess, huh? So let me play this Kron 4, Kron 4, little local news report, 2-minute clip on this Bay Area female teacher. And then also this, not the first time with this, some Mexican says Austin 316. Kind of looks like that a little bit. Not sure. Anyway, listen to this.
Now at 9, a former teacher at an East Bay high school is in jail tonight, accused of molesting students. Bail has been set at almost $2 million. And she is not the first teacher at the school to face sexual abuse charges. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight on Crown 4 News at 9. I'm Grant Lotus.
And I'm Vicki Liviakis. That former teacher is accused of 29 counts of child molestation. Crown 4's Gail Ong has details.
35-year-old Anessa Gower, a biology teacher, is facing 29 counts of child molestation. Contra Costa County prosecutors say Gower engaged in numerous acts of sexual nature with minors between 2021 to 2022. Richmond police say her victims were 7 high school boys, ages 15 to 17, at Making Waves Academy, a charter school in Richmond where Gower has taught since April of last year. Police say 2 of the students came forward to school administrators in mid-February. School officials contacted police. During the investigation, detectives found more victims and say some alleged acts happened on school property. In a statement to Crown 4, the CEO of Making Waves Academy reads in part, "There is nothing more than the health, safety, and well-being of our students. That teacher is no longer employed by Making Waves Academy, and we have reached out to parents, students, and faculty to provide support where it might be needed." It's not the first time Making Waves Academy has faced allegations of sexual abuse. Ronald Guinto is serving a 931-year sentence after being convicted of molesting 15 boys at the school. Guinto ran a youth program at Making Waves Academy from 2011 to 2013. The school agreed to pay nearly $11 million to the victims to settle a lawsuit. In the current case, Gower is being held at the Martinez Detention Facility on almost $2 million bail. Gail Ong, Crown 4 News.
What a mess, huh? Terrible. Sorry if that volume was too loud, guys. Too loud for headphones, say some. It must have been compressed, and I don't understand audio. So, my bad. I raised it because it looked low, and then, okay, anyway. So, sound is great, say some. Too loud it was loud in my headphones. Just, I don't know. But, yeah, crazy. Couple of super chats here. Asmodor states, oh, she was teaching biology, all right. Yeah, this was a biology teacher going after the boys. Shameful. Disgusting. And this is quite common, but they want to target the men. You know, Virginia Giuffre Roberts, the one who went after Jeffrey Epstein, right? She was a runaway working like a hand towel girl at the Trump, Mar-a-Lago place. She got recruited, allegedly, according to her, I guess, by that woman who was working with Epstein, is she facing trial or convicted or something like that? I don't know. I can't keep up with that stuff. But I remember seeing a clip of this Virginia Roberts Giuffre woman saying, these men, us girls, are not going to let these men get away with what they did. But the reality is, it's a lot more evil going on than just the men, just the males. Dead naming is the crime of refusing to play along with the delusions of mentally ill sexual degenerates, says Asmodor with the super chat. Yeah. She'll get 5 years, says Brandon M. Yeah, and the dude got like 931 years. Yikes. Sex education. Yeah. Your girlfriend says, yes. Yeah, Ghislaine or Ghislaine, whatever however you pronounce it. Shameful. Maxwell. Not good. What a sick world, huh? And then now you have like parents, so-called parents or wannabe parents raising children like this or using, making test tube babies for their own like ego. And it's bad enough that parents themselves who by natural God-given means use their children for their own ego or the ego, right? It's not their own ego, the ego that has them, the devil, the Satan. Now you have just completely abnormal using for ego. And you have the female-minded media people cheering it on, like I was talking about with Britney Spears. The media all happy that Britney Spears is pregnant out of wedlock after being divorced twice and already having kids back with the other guy. Or that Bennifer situation. I want to spit or throw up when I say Bennifer. Ugh. I'm shuddering. Anyway, some more super chats, guys. Lin Yan Chin says, quotes my caller yesterday, Jim from Los Angeles. The guy who was not exactly morally straight. He says, keep up the terrible work, Hake. Well, thank you, Jim in Los Angeles. I appreciate your calls. Lin Yan Chin says, quoting him, I think, I think evil is a religious precept. And Lin Yan Chin attributes this quote to a, quote, hate fool posing as intelligent but just an intellectual. He even identifies as, quote unquote, bi, a branch of broken sexuality. Intellectualism is the insecurity-lined pathway to broken sexuality. Yeah, that is so true. People justify just their perversions by way of intellectual means. Satan did that with Eve. You will not surely die. You will just be equal with God because you will have knowledge like he has knowledge. Racism is fake perception, says Lin Yan Chin. Yeah, that's true too. Quote unquote perception. Yep. They project it onto the whites who they think that discriminated against them. Because it's usually used against whites, let's be honest, right? Yeah, nice chat, Lin Yan Chin. Appreciate it. You have haters and fans among the chat. Yeah, that's so true about this intellectualism, the insecurity-lined pathway to broken sexuality. Because I remember a Catholic man, shout out to the Catholics. See, we like you. There's this Catholic guy named, I'm blanking on his name. He wrote the book Making Gay Okay book. And it says how rationalizing, there's another word for intellectualizing, how rationalizing homosexuality is changing everything. It's a book back in 2015, and on the cover, it's by Robert R. Riley. He has been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show about this book and maybe another time. I forget. Back in 2015, and it has a photograph of the so-called White House, black on the inside White House, meaning evil, and black too. Sleepy Joe and Barack Obama were in the White House at that point, and it's all lit up in this gay fake rainbow flag colors, right? Rationalizing, making gay into being okay, even though it's not actually. Let me screenshot this book for you guys. It's going to be a really rough screenshot, but I just would like to show it to you as I move on to another super chat from Based America First, who says, did you see the video Vincent James shared on Telegram from the subway shooter? In the video, Frank James. I say Frank James, kind of like Rick James, but anyway. Frank James complains about N-word culture and blames the violence on the women who raised them. See, you can even grasp some truth, some tidbits of true things, statements from killers. It's just that they're mad about it. And they've swallowed the lie of anger. Dylan Roof, same thing. And so many others. Very interesting. I did not see that Based America First. Real Vincent James on Telegram. It's a great Telegram. Follow him there. I'm on Telegram as well. JLP Talk is on Telegram. The Hake Report on Telegram. JLP Talk on Telegram. I mention all the time TKR Official over there on Telegram. That's how you can find the Asmodor's show, where I appeared this past Saturday. Thank you, Based America First. Frank James is the alleged by some subway shooter guy. I don't even know if he actually killed anybody, but he did shoot some people allegedly, right? The cops have not alleged this. They just called him a person of interest. But, you know, a lot of people are alleging that he's the one who did it. Actually, I have a photograph of this subway shooter guy, black. Alleged subway shooter guy. Sorry, guys. I like to be disciplined about this. But look at that face. I guess it's a mugshot of him and then a picture of him in a truck or something. Truck driver? U-Haul driver? Maybe that's him driving the U-Haul. But look at that face. Big guy, 62, 63 years old. Looks unhappy. Almost can't blame him if he did what he did. Which is probably a wrong thing to say. Don't blame a guy for trying to kill people and smoking them out and shooting them. No, you have to blame them. But look at him. He looks miserable. Yeah, it gives you some, understanding. Understand the criminal. Alleged criminal. This guy's a person of interest. We don't know. Maybe he's totally innocent. Sorry, guys. Another super chat, John WX25. Thank you, man. School administrators / pedophiles with fake support, or PDF files, with fake support for victims as they groom 4-year-olds for homoism. Yeah. Epstein's ghost says that's Marcus Jones. No, man. Don't say that. Yeah, terrible. Oh, by the way, Honda Bear says you should start calling Toby from California, the mess of a person. Who everything is a joke to him, especially if it's at the expense of whites. What a mess. Terrible. Anyway, it's 9:30, guys. I got to get to some calls. You can call in 888-775-3773. I'm wearing my Forest Home t-shirt. Not to be confused with Forest Lawn. Forest Home Originals, California, 38. 38, I think, is short for 1938. Yeah, it's a Christian family camp that I used to go to. Over in the mountains. Forest Falls, 1 mile high. 1 mile higher than the sea level. Beautiful area. Halfway up to Big Bear from here, anyway, or from suburbs. Let me get to Keith in Illinois, guys. Keith is on the line. How are you doing, Keith?
All right. Hey, how are you, bud?
Doing fine, thank you.
You know, I just called because I remember what May said about, she don't mind about all the illegals coming in. Remember that when she telling Jesse?
Oh, are you talking about from the Jesse Lee Peterson show today?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't catch her call. I was getting ready for my show. She said that, what did she say about illegals?
Oh, she don't mind them, let them all come in.
Oh, really?
So my
Is that
thing
true? Maze.
No, that's what she said. That's what she
My
said.
favorite caller, fine with the let them all come in?
Yeah.
Not
And
good.
she tried to use God and that, these black women, they go to these black churches and these old black satanic preachers teach them that, give up everything and don't worry about it. And you're not supposed to take care of you and yours. Just give it all. If you got a box of crackers, give up all your crackers. They fall into that mindset, but yet still it's satanic to me. And I say drop all the illegals off at all the big cities where Mays live and the rest of them live without, I didn't like that the governor from Texas told Washington, D.C. what he was going to do. I could just drop them off. Why are you telling, drop them off in Chicago, Philadelphia, all these liberal cities, take all these illegals and drop them off and don't say a word. Because, these people seem to be so liberal, right? When they can't get into the hospital, can't get treatment, when they can't get jobs, when they can't get food, because most cities are nothing but, food deserts anyway. There's no stores to, feed them anyway. Drop them all
food
off
deserts.
And see if people like Mays
explain
feel
food
the same
deserts
way
for
about the illegals then.
Explain food deserts for the people.
Okay, when you live in an urban area, in a black urban area, there are no, major stores. There are no Krogers. A lot of them leave because, the locals can't support them with welfare checks because, most times you go to the store is when they get their checks at the end of the month.
Oh.
So almost all big cities are food deserts.
Really?
Yes, especially in the black neighborhoods. In the urban neighborhoods, they are food deserts.
So they just go to the liquor store to get their snacks? And
Yes,
that's how they get
go
their
to the
food?
gas
And they
station. They go, yes, you got it.
McDonald's?
They go to the liquor store and the gas station with their link cards or whatever. They buy food mainly at the gas station.
For a while, I was living that way, and that's when I got fat. So no wonder they're suffering from the China virus more.
Now you understand it, right? The obesity rate is so high because all they eat is salty food, salty chips. There is no nutrition.
Right.
All the major stores eat because they're losing money. So all urban areas, all of them throughout the United States, they are all living in food deserts.
Okay. So food deserts mean there's no grocery stores, no fresh food.
Drop all the illegals off in all these liberal cities, all these black areas, and watch them even starve to death even more because, let them take their little jobs, let them take over their areas like they do in Los Angeles, like they're trying to take over in Los Angeles, like they do in every place else. Let them take over and see if people like Mays want all the illegals to come in. She don't care because it's a godly thing, and, that's what these old black preachers teach them that. Especially them black women. Because this is what the black culture is. Take care of the needy and the greedy, never the deserving. That's what they've been taught in the black church.
Yeah. Asmodor states with the super chat, they could easily support them with welfare. It's all the theft and other crime that makes the stores leave. Yeah, because if you think about it, a grocery store is wide open for theft. I mean, basically any store is pretty wide open for
well, that's part of it. Part of it is the theft.
Yeah.
And people like me to have money, that have a check coming. I don't like to go to those stores because you're gonna get robbed. You don't know people gonna beg you for money.
True.
So the people with the money don't go to the local stores. We go to the big stores like in the mostly white neighborhoods where it's cheaper food. Well, now the gas is cheaper. And things are a little bit better. So the local big stores, they close down. So just about all major cities, listen to me, I would say all of them, live in food deserts. So drop all the illegals up in Mays and all these black women that want to love they call love everybody. But you see, she don't love it, right? But that's the pretense they like to put on this little act. Drop all the illegals off in all the areas and see don't they start to hate this illegal immigrant because right now they're not affected by it as much as they're going to be. You know what I'm saying? So Mays, we're going to have a crusade to drop them all off in your neighborhood in Cleveland, wherever you live at, so that you can take care of them, you and your black churches, your preachers, and I will take care of them.
Nice.
So that's all I want to say. Yeah, they all live in food deserts. So, Hey, just drop them off. But like I say, Governor Abbott and the rest of them in dissent says, don't tell the people you're going to drop them off. They don't tell you they're going to drop them off.
Yeah.
Grab all the illegals by the tens of thousands, drop them, you know what, drop them off in Delaware.
I wish we could just...
Chicago, Philadelphia. You know where else? Drop them off in the Hamptons. Well, Obama and the rest of them, they'll drop all those illegals off in the Hamptons.
I get your point, man. I wish that we could just ship them back across the border. And why can't we? You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, since we can't,
yeah.
I'm just saying, I agree with that 100%. But
Right.
since we can't, let these people see how it is. Drop them off in the Hamptons. But don't tell them you're going to do it. Don't tell them they'll be ready for you. Drop them off in the Hamptons. Drop them off in Beverly Hills. Just drop them off. Don't say anything.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my little 2 cent hate. What's up, Maze? Just drop them off with Maze. Maze, give your address in your town so we can drop them all off there for you, and your black church can take care of them.
Well,
thanks a lot, Hake. Y'all have a good week. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
You guys take care.
You too, Keith. Appreciate it. Dayton, Ohio is where Maze purportedly hails from. Where? I don't know. I don't want to end in from. I don't want to end the sentence in a preposition. You end a sentence in a preposition, it's incorrect, grammatically or sentence structurally speaking. Right? But Dayton, Ohio is a sundown town, so that is a positive thing. That means all the blacks and illegals have to be indoors. Can't be outside after dark because nothing good happens after dark. So stay in. Some super chats, more super chats, and shining light on this. Asmodor states with the super chat, grocery stores in black areas have extremely high overhead. Overhead means costs above, which are just regular expenses. Just in shopping carts, the blacks take the carts home with their groceries and just dump them in alleys instead of returning them. Wow, they need cart narcs over there. Wait, that's not where it goes. Just showing support, says Fernandez T with a super chat over there on Odyssey. Generous man. Appreciate it. Lots of POC, I hate this term, that love the USA and white people and their culture. Screw, meaning forget, all these immigrants. Immigrants, but he spells it ingrates. Nice. Thank you, Fernandez T. Yeah, true. There are some people of color, so-called, the non-whites who do love America and white people. Nice. We need to spread the love. Asmodor states, nobody has ever seen Tony from California, also known as Toby, and the subway station shooter in the same place at once. Suspicious. Yeah. It's kind of like nobody's seen Clark Kent and Superman in the same place at the same time. Suspicious. Could Tony and the subway station shooter be the same person? Somebody says that he's fat, angry, white-hating, old black manlet. I don't know, man. Yeah, this subway shooter's 5'5" only. Roughly like 175, 180 pounds was the description. Black. Or, the suspect. The madman. They call him gunman, but I call him madman. Madman sounds cool, though, but mad is what he is, right? If he did it. I heard that Tony from California, though, is tall and fit, and he runs. According to him, he jogs. He's a jogger. So, in his defense, or is that a defense? Well, what a mess. The town from which Maze hails. Thank you. I don't know how to express myself. I don't know how to word things properly. And when somebody corners me with what's the definition of female, I go hey wild. My mind goes hey wild, haywire. Terrible. You guys feel like some Ukraine propaganda? Do you want to hear your daily dose of poor innocent Ukraine propaganda? I think I'll share it with you, even if you don't want it. I have some pics of walking around the neighborhood, saw some army men with a Ukraine flag toothpick, and took a picture of it because this is so cool. You guys remember those green army men? They did appear in the movie Toy Story as well. I saw this, in the afternoon, walk in the afternoon. They put this plastic cast, what would you call this? Like a sculpture of a army man figure with a pistol and binoculars, with his helmet and army fatigues on a stand, with a toothpick for a flagpole, and that cringy, who came up with this lame, sorry, Ukrainians. I know some Ukrainians who came to America, and I don't blame you. Our flag is way better. Look at this baby blue and baby yellow colored Ukraine flag. Can you get any more boring? You deserve to be taken over. Get the Russian flag. It's better. Or something. Change up that flag, man. You guys know that Ukraine flag? It's like 2 colors only. It's just 2 horizontal stripes. One baby blue, or like sky blue, not quite. I've seen it in darker color too, which looks a little better, but. And then this yellow. I hear that they're not necessarily yellow, like they don't run. I don't know if that's propaganda or if they are cowards and they're pretending not to be cowards, that they're not cowards. But come on. But look at this. So yeah, all over the neighborhood that I walk outside of Bond here, you will see these dumb liberals flying the Ukraine flags. We stand with Ukraine. Not one American flag. Every now and then, okay, an American flag. Flying at night at inappropriate time or in the rain because they're so ignorant that they don't respect the beautiful flag stuff. Sleepy Joe Biden was talking about the atrocities supposedly happening in Ukraine. I mean, I imagine atrocities are happening, but at whose hand, We don't know who did what, and there's probably violence on many sides. On many sides. Perhaps there are very fine people on both sides. I don't know. I'm chuckling because people are saying the flag should be pink, or rainbow flag, or transgender flag, or mess. But he's crying genocide. Sleepy Joe cried genocide. He's a war criminal. Oh, what's that? What's that? Is he a war criminal? No. What did you say? Oh yeah, he is a war criminal. I'm imitating that clip of that woman in the White House, female so-called journalist. I guess journalist is slang for communist propagandist, right? Shaking my head. And sleepy geriatric Biden, like, oh yeah, he is a war criminal. Just throwing around words. Look at yourselves. Last week, Zelensky, unchristian President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, who I heard was put there by like the CIA and George Soros and, people like that. I don't know if it's true. But it's, the people who seem to know what they're talking about seem to know what they're talking about. And I heard it from them. I'm saying I don't know, but I heard it from reliable sources on DLive. Not on DLive. I don't think Wendy Williams is a guy. Zelensky began accusing last week Russia of committing genocide against his country. This guy, give me a break. You're using your people, so-called, for a human, this guy is probably not even in danger, where he is, wherever he is. I could be wrong, but I don't think he is. For human shields, playing victim. Unchristians, I said in Hake News, always, meaning anti-Christian people like this guy, I think he is, always crying genocide in some way, form or fashion. According to Ukrainian officials, nearly 200 children have been killed. And I say, whose fault is that? Yours, maybe. It takes 2 to tango. Keep the fighting going, right? More than 300 others injured since I'm halting in my language. Stuttering a bit. The Russians' invasion began. That's not that many. Vladimir Putin, the most interesting man in the world, look it up. It's on the Jason Lee Peterson channel, said yesterday peace talks with Ukraine have hit a dead end. He vowed he will not stop military operations until Moscow succeeds. And so I say, give up Ukraine. You're hurting your own people. Or am I wrong? Am I the ignorant one? In my ignorance, though, have I stumbled upon what's right and true? Just laughing at super chats coming in. Shall I share with you what's so funny? Shall I share what's so funny at the class? As Nador states on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@the Hake Report. We all know Tony is a jogger. Jogger became synonymous with another hard R word. My jogger. After Ahmaud Arbery, blah, 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 got himself killed. He got himself killed because he was acting erratic going up against the McMichaels. Pray for the McMichaels and pray for Roddy Bryan, you know? It's such a shame. It's a terrible attack upon the whites, and it's actually a spiritual attack on the blacks, too. I mean, their hating is only going to hurt you, too. Blacks. And whites who are falling into it, everybody. I will get to your calls, guys. Hang tight. If you're put on hold, you hear my voice, that means you are on hold, and we will get to your call. Let me get to Rick in Hampton, Virginia. Rick, how are you doing?
James, my brother, what's going on?
Going fine.
The Hake Report.
Indeed. Nice.
Hey, FAUCI finally tapping out, huh?
Come back to your phone, man. You're coming out kind of rough.
So can you hear me now?
Yes. You mentioned Fauci, and you call him
Yeah.
FAUCI.
Yeah, you know, I'm listening to FAUCI, yeah. Dr. FAUCI, the leprechaun that he is, stand with me, the leprechaun that he is. Now, he's finally saying that people on their own right now. Basically saying that, I don't know what this virus going to do. So that was still his virus, only hope of getting his numbers up.
That's funny. You laugh. Like, I didn't catch everything that you said, but he's saying that.
Sorry.
Yeah, stay close to your phone. You must be in kind of a bad area. It's coming kind of in and out. But you said that Fauci said that he doesn't know what the virus is going to do next. I guess you say, right? Yeah, I mean, he's talking about bringing back the mask mandates, and I think they're still talking about a fourth vaccine shot, so-called vaccine shot for people. Yeah. And, you know, different so-called universities and the city of Philadelphia have brought back indoor mask mandates. And in my opinion, it is a bit ridiculous. Granted, there are people who have bad habits of getting in your space and breathing and sneezing and coughing without covering their mouth and stuff.
Right.
And, you know, people have poor health habits, and those health habits got even worse during the shutdowns.
Right.
So I say that all these things are kind of counterproductive in many cases. And also, it's like overprotective helicopter parent mama spirit. These are not the sensible people doing this stuff, you know?
Well, yeah, because I tell you what, the Democratic Party used it to the fullest, man. I'm telling you, they used to the point that even families were divided among this virus, man. You know, families, you know, like, don't come over my house if you're not vaccinated. Lord, that, you understand what I'm saying, James?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
And this is ridiculous, you know. Now, he's at the point now, like he's saying, like, well, you guys do what's best for y'all safety. So, you're like, what? You know, because no one, and when you remember President Biden was talking about, I'm going to end this virus, he even tried to give a date and everything. I said, you don't know what a virus is going to do.
Yeah, it's true.
And people believed it. And they actually believed Biden talking about he would end the virus in so much time.
Yeah, it's not going away. It's here to stay.
It's here to stay like the cold virus.
Yep. Thanks, China. Or whoever.
What you say, Jay?
I said thanks, China. But some people think that it was kind of enabled by America. in part. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
What do you mean by enable? That is
Because, some speculate, and they may be correct, that it may not have actually started in the Wuhan wet market, but in the lab at Wuhan. I don't know. I don't know if it did or didn't, but that lab in Wuhan was studying, at least at one point, how to make viruses more capable of spreading and killing and things like that. They were researching similar such things, right? Or researching things like that. And that was funded by Fauci's department or Fauci's part of the American government. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know if there's any connection at all. But
and that's what Rand Paul be pressing Dr. Fauci about.
Right.
That he funded him and Ralph Barrick out of Duke. I think he's at Duke, and they was funding that virus together, I believe.
Yeah. Don't know.
And that's what Rand Paul be always pushing. You fund this virus, man. And it's getting to the
China doesn't. I remember reading a report from Zero Hedge. It's a fairly reliable news source. They got suspended on Twitter at one point. But they were quoting Tom Cotton, the senator from, I forget where, Iowa. I forget where.
Arkansas?
Yeah, maybe so. Arkansas senator. Tom Cotton was saying that, and other people have said that China has leaked SARS before, the original SARS. They've leaked stuff out of their labs because they don't have as good of practices as the Americans or the British or whoever else studies this stuff with their labs. So I don't know. Interesting stuff. Whatever.
Yes, it is, man. It's I don't know, right now, man, people at the point people starting to get on with their lives, James.
Yeah, I know.
People starting to get on with their lives, man. It's hey, man, I'm just going to take care of myself, try and be as healthy as I can be, and keep it moving.
Yeah. I have a super chat for you, Tony. I mean, Rick. Sorry, I called you Tony.
What's that?
All blacks looking sounding like. Just kidding. Your girlfriend gave a super chat and said, Rick, tell Russ to call in. Russ from Hampton, Virginia. Did I ban Russ? I forget what happened with Russ. I forget whether I banned him or not. Rick, do you know?
Hampton?
I mean, Nick, do you happen to remember if I banned Russ? But your girlfriend wants to hear from Russ. I can't remember either. Maybe I would give him one more chance. I may have, and then I let him back on. I forget. After Jesse let him back on, I let him back on. Something like that. Anyway, thank you, Rick. It's good to hear from you.
No problem, Jay. Good to hear from you. Always good to get on y'all's show, man. Keep up the good work. Love you guys. We'll continue supporting.
Cool. Thanks, man. Take care.
Love you guys. Be blessed.
You as well. Let me briefly tell you about this ridiculous stuff going on. In the second hour coming up here, I'm going to talk about this Gilbert Gottfried guy. Is it Gottfried or Gottfried? He died. He had that memorable voice. But I'll also talk about some stuff that I saw on, the headlines and on Telegram, TKR Official, and elsewhere about Ben Affleck and abortion and the beautiful Confederate flag. This guy who's going to head the ATF if the Senate lets him. I think the Senate has to pass him and other things. But I want to tell you briefly about Oxfam. It's another one of those fake human rights organization type globalist international NGOs, right? Non-government organizations, these fake nonprofits, Oxfam. And, basically the story goes, according to Commie Nonsense Network and Oxfam, that the China virus was killing prosperity, but I say it was the commie restrictions, and I'm right. From Hake News, CNN said 260 million people more people can be living in poverty, 263 million. Extreme poverty by the end of the year due to the China virus and global inequality Rising global inequality. I call it globalist inequality, right? I'm right. Due to the commie restrictions in overreaction to the China virus. And right, increasing food prices. In these food deserts, please. Per a new report from Oxfam, entire countries are being forced deeper into poverty, extreme poverty, as China virus clampdowns, commie clampdowns, continue to deplete financial reserves, mess up the supply chains and all kinds of stuff. That's what it was. And it is having lasting residual effects, you know? Gottfried is how it's pronounced. Don't talk crap about the dead. I wasn't. I like him. I mean, I don't know anything about him except for his voice. But look at this website and these people who are behind this Oxfam thing. Just a little, I don't know, taste of who this is. The Oxfam America website, more like Oxfam Anti-America. Their motto, M-O-T-T-O, is the future is equal. Well, that's disgusting. What are you, Satan? What are you, serpent? The serpent in the Garden of Eden? The future is equal. I'm looking at their website. That's what it says. I have some screenshots of the website and of these people behind this organization that was not an American organization, I'll have you know. Food prices skyrocket due to Ukraine crisis. Millions of people already suffering from extreme hunger are at greater risk. What we believe, the future is equal. Take action, change the world, start here, donate now. You have the power to change lives. Join us. So that's Oxfam's website. I almost said not morally straight website. Their founder was this English entrepreneur, Cecil Jackson-Cole, who's dead now. He was a so-called humanitarian. Forget these people who are humanitarians. I say that. That's what I say. Associated with a number of charities, including Oxfam. 1901 to 1979. And you know who's running it now? Is this woman. A woman. Executive director of Oxfam. When I said woman, it made me think of Christopher, the Dawning Armor. He's like, and she's a woman. But, you know, a woman doesn't belong running even a non-profit. You know, you go to genderchampions.com to find out about this woman. International Gender Champions. What does that even mean? Gabriella Boucher, Executive Director of Oxfam. I don't even know what Oxfam is supposed to stand for. Oxford, maybe? Oxford famine? The fight for women's and girls' rights is where a just and more sustainable world will be won. So claims this evil woman. Executive Director of Oxfam International, global network which fights inequality to end poverty and injustice. They don't, anytime you see that word injustice, they're not for actual injustice. I mean, they're not for ending actual injustice. They're the perpetrators of injustice. She's experienced, case in point, Ms. Boucher, experienced social justice leader. Social justice is not justice. Social justice people push injustice. They are for injustice. They're taking away actual justice and putting in injustice. That's what social justice is. Committed to gender equality, which is not real, and human rights, which is a communist buzzword, as you know, if you've listened to my show at all. At least you know that I say that. Tackling economic inequality. And look at this dumb quote. The fight for women's and girls' rights is where a just and more sustainable world will be won. Okay, you sound just like that evil guy, that male feminist from Canada. A just and more equitable world. You know that guy who sounds not morally straight with his, Sophie and I are proud feminists, the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Let's all play our part, says this woman, to tackle the deep gender, economic, and racial inequalities at the heart of our patriarchal and unjust economy. There you go. She hates men. Men leading. She hates that. If we are to give everyone a chance at life and opportunity and dignity, the future has to be equal. Makes me want to spit stupid stuff that she says. Sorry, kids. Can't say stupid too much. And then you look at her Twitter bio, she's Colombiana. She's from Colombia. Psh, Colombians. I like 2 Colombians. Esteban and Nick. Nick is half or something. Why is their art always like that? Asks Chris. Yeah, you want to comment on this briefly before we wrap up this first hour?
Yeah.
Describe the art for the podcast listeners.
Yeah, it's always on her Twitter banner, I think you call that or something like that. It's 3 women, it looks like, and the skin color is like a weird. It's like a variant on all 3 of them, but it's like this pink, orange, red kind of thing.
It's a POC implied.
Yeah, I always notice that they just do. It's like a quirky kind of, they look like people, certainly. It's not like Picasso or anything like that.
Right.
But it's just sort of this very, I don't even really know how to describe it. It's very modern.
Yeah.
And it's very...
garish is one word for it. Like
it's really ugly.
Yeah.
It's really ugly, but it's just...
It's like a 7th grader girl who hates white people, wants to put as much saturated color into this.
Yeah, it's very rich and dense in color.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a very negative way.
Right.
Because there's plenty of times where I like, dense colors.
Right.
But this just looks... The colors almost clash.
Right. It's kind of Indian style a little bit.
Yeah. It's very brash and very bright and just...
Kind of like Mexicans paint their houses bright colors sometimes, and then the whole rest of the neighborhood hates them for it because they're bringing down the property values.
Yeah.
They have they choose, not all Mexicans, right? But the ones who actually paint their houses, it's just the worst color that you can choose, and it just stands out.
Yeah. It just
not in a good way.
Yeah, exactly. It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's so, again, the drawing itself, it clearly looks like a person. But then you just add this very hyper-realistic, like out-of-this-world, like the woman in the middle, her skin is literally orange, and then she has blue lips.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And then they have these ugly pair of glasses on. And
I don't know if hyper-realistic, but kind of almost psychedelic, they're on a trip and they think that this looks right. Yeah, this looks right. Like their eyesight is so poor they can't perceive normal colors, so they have to take everything to extremes or something.
Yeah. I guess with hyper realism in art is
not even realistic.
Well, hyper realism outside of the art context is a little bit different because hyper realism in art means it looks like as real as possible.
Right.
Hyper realism outside of art is a little bit different. It's over exaggerated.
Yeah. Like when you take a drug, well, not that you or I have ever taken drugs,
right?
But Joel Friday, I can only say this because he said it on the Hake Report when he was co-hosting. Way back, like in high school or something, he took a drug that Esteban said, "No, you didn't," and then he said, "I felt like I was a cartoon in hell." And then Esteban's like, okay, yeah, you did take this such and such drug.
So Esteban confirmed.
Yeah, based on this description of his experience.
Right.
And this looks like cartoon in hell, this drawing.
It does. It looks very, when you think of a cartoon and
unpleasant.
They show kind of like a psychedelic kind of a thing. It looks like that. But I just noticed it's a lot of women and a lot of corporations too, especially.
Yeah.
Because they use a lot of cartoons because again you don't have to use real people,
right?
But it's so easy to control because you can just be like, okay, I need 5 people, I need 10 people. Okay, I can just make them one of every single race. I can make some that have purple skin and whatever kind of skin. It's all there's so many colors and we're all like this rainbow coalition thing.
Yeah, and this woman, she's Colombiana, so it explains everything. Yeah. And she says, passionate for justice, passion, not good to be, connecting with people and transformative change. That reminds me of that fake social justice Christian talk, transformative change. Oh, by the way, she has she, her, hers on her Twitter bio.
Oh,
so
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah. I mean, she does look a little mannish. A little bit. But, you know, her hairstyle
She's a
and
mannish
scarf.
woman.
Yeah.
I know
you
the
can
difference.
tell that she's a woman.
I know the difference between a man and a girly man.
Right.
And a woman
and a mannish woman.
And a mannish woman.
Yeah.
I can tell the difference.
Terrible. Yeah. It's so sick, these people. I'm shaking my head.
Yeah.
So that's Oxfam for you guys. More like Oxfam against you guys. Anyway, guys, we are past the top of the hour. It's time for some music. And this song is short, so I'm not going to start it right off. I'll just introduce it, and then we'll step out and come back. And then I will get to calls. Guys, you can call in 888-775-3... Oh, it's not there. 3773. Art in Ohio is coming up next. Appreciate you hanging in there, guy. I mean, sir. Can I call him guy? But now is time for... Yeah, you guys have called it devilish. 6 Organs of Admittance is the name of this band that I've been playing for the past couple of weeks here, plus. This is the 7th... This is the title track from the album Shelter from the Ash. Title of the song, Shelter from the Ash. 2007 album on Drag City Records. Hope you like it. Grin and bear it, you musical Philistines. I may talk you through towards the end of it. It's just 3 minutes long plus, a little bit more. And you can press mute. You can go shovel snow or rake leaves. I guess it's springtime, so probably not a lot of leaves. But, you know, go sightseeing, step away or whatever. I'm going to step away, but I'll be right back for the rest of Hour 2, Shelter from the Ash, 6 Organs of Admittance. Isn't this nice, guys? Take shelter from the ash. Is shelter pretty enough to do that? I dig it, hey. Vocals are a bit beta, but I like the picture the lyrics paint. Well, thank you, Luka. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Wasn't that okay? Wasn't it okay? Anyway, thank you for bearing with me through that. I'm playing it. I like it, Hake. Well, thank you, Kevin Howe. Music to get arrested to. Whoa. It's a highly satanic cover. Is this a Jewish band? Don't know. Six Organs of Admittance is a band by the same guy who's in Comets on Fire. Ben Chasney, C-H-A-S-N-Y. Ben. Could go either way, right? Benjamin? Don't know. Psychedelic band Comets on Fire. You guys heard of them? Anyway, thank you for, I appreciate sharing it with you. One more song on this album to go tomorrow. Don't shelter yourself from the ash. Let your ego burn to the ground into ash and rise. Thank you, Anna. Okay, let me get to Art in Ohio. He's on the line here. Art, thank you for calling and holding. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Huh?
Huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. Them babies, they riding around and they sipping it. They riding around and they sipping it. They riding around and they sipping it. And that refers back to that old T.I. song, Riding Around and Getting It.
Okay.
But these the foreigners up here
and T.I. is short for tip, right?
Yeah. T.I. the rapper.
Nice.
Yeah.
I used to like his song No Matter What.
I did too, man. I kind of fell back on him because I think he be on that beta communist talk stuff, man.
Right.
So I be having to like catch myself that a lot of people I be listening to. You know, when you're younger, you tend to like people like that, but I'm like, nah. When I'm starting to see how things are starting to go, I'm like, nah. It's too late in the game to be on that communist talk in America. So when I was singing that little song, Riding Around and Sipping It, it's referring back to I was at the store on two occasions. One occasion, I'm coming out the store and I'm seeing a dude pulled up in the car in front of another dude, and I'm thinking, they just talking and stuff. Well, the one dude, he was like a foreigner or whatnot. It looked like he was drunk driving or whatnot. The one dude, he was in his car and they was going back and forth. He was a black dude that had like dreads, probably a Negro or something. And at first I'm thinking, then I realized like, oh, they arguing and stuff. So me being in the area I'm in, I'm like, hold up, man. Let me go ahead and because I couldn't pull out the driveway because they had me blocked in and stuff.
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, let me kind of crouch down a little bit because somebody about to probably pull a gun out and start busting. I don't want to be caught up in no,
man. What a life.
So I'm listening. Yeah. So I'm listening to him going back and forth. Come to find out, the black dude was talking stuff to the foreigner because he was peeing on the side of the building and was exposing himself while he was peeing.
Not good. Wow.
So, yeah.
These foreigners.
Yeah. So the black dude was calling him out on it, so the foreigner had a problem with it. Keep in mind, the foreigner had older passenger dude in the car with him, then had a kid in the back seat. All right, that's the first incident. Ain't nothing really happened. They was talking stuff, and the one dude ended up foreigner pulled off with his busted up tank. Looked like he done been in 10 accidents. So then the other incident was just like 2 days ago. I coming out the same store. I'm looking at the African or whatnot, and I'm like, what is he like? He's like stumbling around, he talking or whatnot. So I ain't paying no attention to him. So he like do a little daze, stumble around, like a quick walk around, like basically the car that I was in, which I'm sitting there watching because I'm coming out the store again. So I'm like, what is he looking at my car for? So bam, he go get back in his car, sit down for a couple minutes, grab a bottle out the car that he drunk or whatnot, throws it and stumbles to trash cans and throws it in the trash can. Keep in mind, he ain't driving or whatnot, but I seen the driver. Hey, he had another bottle in his hand, so I'm like, well, damn, hold up. Are they both finishing off the bottles or whatnot? Is the driver drinking, or it's only the pastor drinks. So I was just confused. And my thing is to Mays is to these white liberals is when all these foreigners that y'all letting into America come through this border or whatnot, when they start making their way to these white college campuses like the Ohio State, Dayton University, Cincinnati University, and they start infringing on your little white daughters, your white granddaughters, your white nieces and nephews, and they end up hurting them. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody crying like we need to send them back or none of that, because Artie Art from Ohio, baby, told you 10 years ago that what y'all need to do, but y'all ain't want to do it. But when it affects y'all, everybody wants to be all up in her array. Let's send them back. Let's do this. But no, y'all want to let them all over here. Well, then go ahead and have at it, because Artie Art ain't going to say nothing else no more. But then with Mays from Dayton, Ohio, and Miss Parks that called you the other day, with her liberal self, they probably alleged, I don't know if I believe nothing no liberal, especially Miss Parks is saying, because we know y'all 90% of the time is straight liars. Your kids is more than likely felons, 4-time, 5-time felons, talking all that nonsense. Huh, Hake? Huh? Can you hear me, Hake?
I can hear you.
Okay, guys. We know your kids are like 5-time felons, Miss Park. And to Miss Mays down there in Dayton, sweetie, when all this stuff start going down here in the summer, because the crime rate is up high, real high where I'm at right now in Ohio. I ain't gonna pinpoint exactly where I'm at, but it's real high where I'm at. So, and I predicted this some months ago, but as I said, once this crime rate keep going up out and getting out of control, and Miss Mays is having all these problems with these foreigners invading her area, don't be talking about where the black men at, where the Negro men at. Kanye West, when he said about with the Katrina, when the flood, George Bush's race, man, we ain't trying to hear nothing about that because we already know what's going on. Y'all want to keep letting them in, so when all this stuff start getting real bad, Mays from Dayton, Ohio, don't be coming to looking for Artie Art, and don't be calling Hake, complaining to Hake about nothing, sweetie. You make your own bed, sweetie. You better lay in it. And I don't want to hear nothing, no complaining. But God bless you, Hake, and thank you for taking my call.
I appreciate it, Art. Good to hear from you. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Yeah, and be careful out there, Art. Be careful out there, people. Stay alert, because you don't know who's getting let in, and the people who are already in, such as that guy who is the person of interest in the Brooklyn train. It was on the train when he allegedly let off the smoke bombs and shot people. 30 rounds, I heard he fired, or 33, something like that. Crazy. And I heard that they recovered a jammed gun inside the place. And how did he do that? I thought that New York had a 7 rounds. Is that true? New York City has 7-round magazine restriction? Is it magazine or is it clip? Magazine restriction? 7 round? You can't carry anything. Over here, it's 10 round, like a normal Glock gun, right? Pistol will hold, the magazine, standard magazine holds 15. But no, they put something in it, so you can't put more than 10 in. And that's the law. So stupid. Am I right? Sorry, kids. I said stupid. 33, of course, says Misty. That's a Illuminati little symbol thing. Yeah, leave Mays out of this, says Shaggy Boy. I don't know. I don't picture Mays or Miss Parks raising 5-time felons. I could be mistaken, but I don't think so. They seem kind of old school to have done that. And Mays is married, I think. We have spoken with her husband. I have, personally. Allegedly, according to her. It's her husband. And just in their defense, But I appreciate it, Art. It's still, they're fine with the illegals coming in. I mean, they hate conservatives, except something in her doesn't let her hate Jesse, she says, in her mind, maybe. Leave Mays out of this, says Shaggy Boy. Interesting call. Let me get to another one. Bobby in Texas is on the line, also on this illegal immigration thing. Bobby in Texas, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, James. How you doing, man?
Doing fine, thank you.
Man, I don't think you got a better caller than Artie Art in Ohio. That dude, I love that guy.
Artie Art, baby, baby.
He is entertaining. I give him that.
Yeah.
So on the topic, with Abbott sending all these illegals, apparently he's figured out a way to tell them, hey, it's better. We're going to get you to D.C. and it'll be even better for you. So even though he's not legally, I guess, allowed to compel people to get onto the bus, he's still finding a way to get them up there. But
yeah, I heard the first bus arrived. I saw it on Fox News, that the first or a bus of illegals arrived in D.C., right? Is where they went?
Yep.
What a mess. Greg Abbott, the Texas governor.
To entice them anyway to hop aboard and ride that train to D.C.
And those are young men. I saw a group of young men out on the bus getting their wristbands scanned and stuff like that. And they didn't seem poor. They seemed like stylish, fashionably dressed, fashionably illegal, alien young men. What a mess.
They get the wristband scanned, hop in line for that free phone, that free Obama phone. And
stop by Comet Ping Pong Pizza.
Yeah, so they
say
can,
hi to the kids.
They can keep track of them, allegedly. That's their plan. Oh, we're going to give them a phone so we can track them. Yeah.
Obama phone.
Just great.
Yep. Ridiculous.
We're going to spend more resources hunting them down after we let them loose, like with these phones. Oh, you know anybody that throws away a phone?
I know.
I think I got a better idea. But then you got these low IQ Mays calling in, talking about how they're great, they're fine with it. And they're fine with it because they don't deal with it. Like, get ready, though, because the first stop coming out of that D.C. after Biden deals with them, he's going to be sending them right to Ohio.
You know,
any other battleground states out there, those are where they're going.
You know, blacks do deal with it. Many blacks do have to deal with it, but since they hate white people, they stay voting for Democrats and rhinos. You know, most black conservatives are total rhinos. They still hate white people, and they're voting for pro-illegal rhinos, such as like Mitt Romney and stuff.
I dare say, though, that places like Ohio don't have near the Hispanic population as you have in Texas, California, Arizona.
Yeah.
Those particular areas. So, and those are where they're wanting to play. I would bet my hard-earned money that would be a focus point of where to stick these fellows they're pulling off these buses in places like Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, anywhere that's a battleground state that, could change an election. That's where they're going to want to stick these people.
Make them feel the hurt, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, so these people that are like Mays in Ohio, who really probably doesn't deal with a lot of illegals, that's why it's not my problem, it's not my issue. Yeah, because you're not in the southern, you don't live on the southern border where they're coming in, destroying your economy, like taking jobs from hardworking Americans.
Yep, and they're voting the way that I imagine she votes, if she votes.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, maybe once they get here, they're like, all right, I'm here. Let's stop the spread. Let's keep it just us in here. I don't know.
Right.
But I know a lot of the Hispanic females, like in the southern area, are starting to like really. They're hardcore, like Republican Trump supporters, like. So I think the tides are turning on people that have gotten here illegally versus your illegals. But because people that worked hard to get here, that went through the proper channels, did all the work to become a citizen. Like, I don't really have so much a problem with them. I have, 2 in my family, and they're both like, one of them is like the most conservative woman I've ever met. Like, she's hardcore, and the other one's a crazy liberal.
Yeah.
But her husband's like a lawyer. She lives in Austin, so she hasn't had to work. So she hangs out with soccer moms all day, and those soccer moms just, tell you all this.
Bunch of liberals.
Drive you the wrong direction. Yeah, exactly.
Right. What a shame.
Especially in that part of the country. You might have better luck,
True.
North Texas where I live, it's like that's less common. Most people are conservative here.
Yeah.
But
True.
there's the fringe, people here that are hardcore liberal and annoy you at every turn.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
I just
Bobby.
feel like these
Go
people
ahead.
that call in that don't have any, any dog in the fight, and they're just like, oh yeah, let them all come in, like, because they haven't been influenced, they haven't been affected like a lot of other people have, like people on the southern border, like people who live there that are just being overrun by these people. Like, I think those people might have a different idea.
Yeah, true. But even if you say you weren't affected at all, you should still be for what's right. What's right is not letting them in. It's right to send them back. They have to go back. As
Like
Trump
all these
said.
European countries, they don't, open their borders for people. They're not like, oh, bring in all your trash into our country. We'd love to have them here. Like, you can't even be from the U.S. and go to Germany and overstay your visa. They're watching you. They're going to throw you out the day your visa's gone. You're not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
So
we need to get
for
tough.
some reason, America's like, yeah, come on in, open the door, stay as long as you want. Like, we're not even going to look for you. Unless you cause a problem or you get arrested, then you're fine.
Yeah.
So it's just stupid. I hate our immigration policies here. Terrible.
They are, and they've been that way for decades. They don't care about us. They hate us.
Yeah.
The people in charge.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it, Bobby.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Have a good one, man.
You too. Take care. Super chats, guys. Your girlfriend says, there's an interesting trend today where every caller criticizing Mays aren't nearly as entertaining as her. Yes, Mays is indeed entertaining. That's a fact. Thank you, your girlfriend. Appreciate that. Shout out. Man. There were some... Let me just double check some things here. Okay, let me read this obituary to you guys. Anybody familiar with this guy, Gilbert Gottfried? It's Gottfried, is that how you pronounce it, according to this guy in my live chat? Commie Nonsense Network says, in memoriam. CNN says, Gilbert Gottfried, comedian and film and television actor with a distinctly memorable voice, has died after a long illness. So said his family, announced his family yesterday. He was only 67. His voice just makes me think of like a old school cartoon person, voice actor type of a guy. I have a, do I have that clip? Do I have a clip in there? Yeah, I have a clip of, just to remind you of what he sounded like. But here's the quote from their family's post on his Twitter account. This is how weird, huh? We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our beloved Gilbert Gottfried, Gottfried, after a long illness. In addition to the most iconic voice in comedy, Gilbert was a wonderful husband, brother, friend, and father to his 2 young children. Young? Although today is a sad day for all of us, please keep laughing as loud as possible in Gilbert's honor. So they wrote on Twitter. And this guy voiced Aladdin's, that bad guy, the bad guy from the cartoon Disney movie Aladdin, where they snuck in vulgar things, I heard. The animators did and the people who made the movie. But the bad guy from the Sultan or whatever the guy's name is, I don't know if he's a Sultan. Iago, Iago is like another name for Jacob, but that's the parrot. He had that wild voice. And he also was Superman's Mr. I forget how you pronounce this name. Mixie-Spitlick, whatever. Bad guy from, I saw him in Batman and in Superman, I think. But here's this clip from way back. He was being interviewed about some, I guess it was a viral, if you will, 9/11 joke shortly after the terror attack in 2001 at the Friars Club roast of Hugh Hefner in 2001. On Saturday, September 29th, 2001, New York Friars Club, organization of comedians and celebrities known for its roasts, held a roast of Playboy founder Hugh Hefner. degenerate, I think. Probably not a Christian. Among the comedians roasting Hefner was Gilbert Gottfried. During his set, he complained about it being difficult to get a flight back from New York City days after, or weeks, the September 11th terror attacks. A couple of weeks later, right? Listen to this. Listen to this little cute. Well, it's just to remind you, really, of his voice. Here it is. Short clip.
That's the way my mind works. I wanted to basically address the elephant in the room.
I have to catch a flight to California. I can't get a direct flight. They said they have to stop at the Empire State Building first.
Terrible. Funny. Too soon? I don't know, man. When I heard him talking, it just made me laugh. 9/11 joke. What the? Happy 9/11. Happy J6, Patriots Day. January 6th was the new 9/11. J6, 1/6 is the new 9/11. Changing the subject a little there. Good joke, says Ashy Dog. I don't know anything about the guy. I have like a positive impression of him. That's not his real voice, actually. No? Yeah, it does seem put on, but I don't know. It's funny. Anyway, what a mess. Well, so rest in peace, man. That's kind of young to be dying. 67, in my opinion. Clint Eastwood is still alive and working out. Outworking these guys. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's in his, 90s. Shout out to Clint Eastwood. That's a man. But he sounded like he was a nice guy. People say he was only nice. He was only funny because of his voice. Got some super chats for you guys. A spate of super chats. Is spate a right word for it? Brandon M reacts to Bobby from Texas saying Europe doesn't open their borders? Germany is literally trying to de-Germanize itself. Come on, Bobby. Yeah, I think that's true. It's true. I think we need toughness all over the white countries. But no, Asnor states with the super chat, how can Bobby be this dumb? Europe is absolutely being flooded with Middle Eastern and African illegals. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I'll let that one slide, huh? Sleep at the wheel, Hake. Thank God for the super chats to our resident fact checkers bringing the truth. His point stands that America's situation is bad. But yeah, Europe is a mess. Asmodor states with another super chat, Bobby, going after Bobby here, guys. Bobby is an ethno-masochist. Masochist means like you love pain, I guess. Ethno-masochist, meaning he loves white pain. The claim that the Hispanics coming in get based and support Trump is without merit. It's 100% establishment rhino propaganda. Several Texans here in chat will refute it. Bobby is like a Hannity-watching boomer, as in Sean Hannity, boomer who always harps on the alleged good ones. Oh, there's some good ones. Fair point, guys, but even if they did, it'd still be wrong, you know? Go back. Yeah, it's true. Texas has a rhino problem. All the Republican states have major rhino problems. I think I mentioned this segment that I saw of Tucker Carlson. JLP showed it to me in the office here. Of like Utah, their governor is this effeminate, girly guy, skinny, saying his preferred pronouns in front of the kids. Bad example. Kiss up to the SJW woke asleep. Stupid, evil person. Probably doesn't even seem morally straight whatsoever in his presentation or his voice or his look. And that's Utah. And Utah also elected Mitt Romney, a sucker, an evil person. In fact, I have a headline, I think, from a few days ago that Mitt Romney, let's see, where do I have it? Don't know if I put it in the folder. Oh, yeah, I did. Mitt Romney clapped for Ketanji. He was the only Republican to clap, as in, like, applaud. Yay. For Ketanji Onyeka Brown is her maiden name, Jackson, as his GOP colleagues walk out. The Utah Republican carpetbagger, because he was a, I will remind you, he was a governor of Massachusetts, a New England state, the first state to go for so-called same-sex marriage. I wouldn't even be surprised if it were on his watch, but I don't think it was. Put in the first black woman. He clapped. He clapped for her. And I said collapsed because he basically collapsed. What a simp. And this same guy who marched in favor of the Black Lives Matter. We need to tell the world that Black Lives Matter. Whoa. This guy's supposed to be a Mormon man. And he looks like a man. But it turns out he's a cheap, pathetic, shell, weak imitation of a man. You know, Mitt Romney. Makes me want to spit. So does his niece, Ronna McDaniel, posing with a bunch of POC kids. POC is short for anti-white. I don't know the specifics of these children. I mean, young people are anti-white, but here come the new crop of conservatives, young conservatives, and not one white, and mostly female. Bunch of POCs. Yeah, like they're so based or something like that. Oh, they're the good ones. Going back to this good ones notion. Brandon M predicts Bobby tomorrow. Well, I didn't mean it like that. And come on, like in his defense, he didn't mean it like that. But yeah, you can't be suckers. You can't be suckers. Got to be tough. Got to be tough. Anyway, got to be truthful too. Peter from Periscope with a super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report says, fun fact, since Brazilians want to disassociate from other Latinos, most of them congregate to Connecticut, where they have a significant population, allegedly. Wow, I did not know that. Peter from Periscope, thank you, man. Crazy stuff. Brandon M says the Romney family was driven out of Mexico in the early 20th century for their weird Mormon things on their compound. I heard that. Yeah, I heard he was born in Mexico. What a weird family, so-called family. Terrible. Anyway, let me get to some headlines for you. This is gross. This is a little update. It's gross in that it's pathetic and it's wrong. And it probably doesn't matter, but it's... Maybe some can relate to this, perhaps. Ben Affleck, I talked about him yesterday a little bit. Remember, Chris went off about those Irish and the Italians need to ease up on their ethnicity stuff. They need to be American. Getting a little carried away because it's not comfortable just to be normal white. They don't want to be normal white. They want to be Italian or Irish. But anyway, Ben Affleck, I looked him up. I don't even think he has any Irish in him specifically. But he is sort of waspy, as Chris said. But he grew up in like a liberal family, I think. His dad was like an alcoholic. I think he had some so-called alcoholism in him as well, right? He had a drinking problem. Although the problem was not the drinking. The problem is what drives him to the drinking. But he did this. Look at this headline. Come on. So this guy made like 3 kids with Jennifer Garner, and he might have been with somebody else, but Jennifer Garner is this supposedly pretty woman, actress, obnoxious person, probably, my guess. On the big screen, she does these cart commercials and things, but he was with her for like 12 or 13 years, or give or take more, maybe, and had 3 kids by her. Then they had this messed up divorce, and now he's getting back, I guess, with this woman, singer. Ben Affleck is an actor, by the way, named Jennifer Lopez, whom I guess he was with a little bit before he got with Garner. You know, these Hollywood types. And this woman, I think, shared this information, which is kind of TMI. And it's also a bad way to do it. I mean, it's not a surprise that they're having this sex out of wedlock stuff, I guess. I mean, I'm assuming based on this story and based on, like, you know, the practices of these unchristian people. I think he turned away from his Christianity. I cracked. I'm growing. He proposed to her in her favorite place, she allegedly said, a bubble bath. What in the world? And they're calling her an actor, but she's not an actor. She's an actress. That's that feminism for you. She's in this movie called Marry Me. What the heck? 52 years old, I think, and he's 49. Embarrassing. That's grandma. He proposed to her while she was in her favorite place on earth, a bubble bath. Jennifer Lopez reveals all the details of the Ben Affleck engagement, says Huffington Compost. It's actually worse than Compost. Huffington Poop. Sorry, kids. Huffington Post. A joke of an outlet. Have some shame, woman, but she shared it, thinking that's something to brag over. Maybe she was in a bubble bath in like in a modest swimsuit, modest bathing suit. Maybe that's what it was, right? We'll just assume that they are morally upright people without any evidence. And all the evidence to the contrary. Because these people are... Ben Affleck is dumb, cringy liberal, I say. Is that enough headline for you? Terrible. Let me skip down to this... let me skip down to some positive talk, right? Because I feel like spitting or gagging or something. So let's get to some positive talk, shall we? I saw this on TKR official Telegram, uplifting little, it's not a news item, it's a no context screenshot of a video that I saw on TKR official Telegram. I think he shared it from Uncle Ted 88 maybe. But it's a POC kid saying the Confederate flag is love. And I say that's right. That's right. It's this little, what is that? Is that a Mexican kid? Is it a Salvadorian kid? Is it a Latino? Or is he a, what's the Asian Mexican kind? Filipino or something? But anyway, it's this little kid, and he's standing in front of a beautiful Confederate Southern monument somewhere, purportedly in front of his mother or grandmother. I don't know. She looks more like a grandma. I don't know. Young grandma. But, and he has a hat on, and it has the beautiful rebel flag, the beautiful Southern flag on it. And, you know, to me, the flag is a symbol of love. And that's right. See, here's, in Bobby's defense, here's one of the good ones, right? I don't know where that's from or what, but I saw it on a video shared by TKR official on Telegram, and I shared it to mine too, the Hake Report. And it was a beautiful song that I don't know if I'd heard before called If Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie. I think it was by Merle Haggard Jr. No, not Merle Haggard. Come on. I don't know my country music. Who's Hank Williams Jr.? Yeah. So isn't that nice? That's beautiful. That's right, POC kid. It is a symbol of love. The haters call it a symbol of hate. The most hateful people in the world call it a symbol of hate. You know, the liberal Jewish people, and even so-called conservative Jewish people who hate the rebel flag. Or at least, you know, like Ben Shapiro called people idiots for bringing the flag around. I mean, it's a time and place for the beautiful Southern flag. So, you know, like right here on the Hake Report. Nice. Another little throwback, since we're on these, is, you know, it's from a few weeks ago when Madeleine Albright died. George Soros does look like her. They posed together as twins. And George Soros did a little tweet. George Soros, you know, the guy who's like subverts countries, supports Black Lives Matter, works with the CIA allegedly to do a color revolution on Ukraine. George Soros tweeted, I guess, around the time that Madeleine Albright died. Madeleine Albright was an astute stateswoman, scholar, and true champion for freedom and democracy. She was a trailblazer in her field. My colleagues and I at the Open Society Foundations mourn her passing today. We will miss her. Is that his voice? But look at them. That's a couple of not normal whites, I'll tell you that much. Not Christians, although she was raised Catholic, supposedly, because her parents converted from Judaism to escape persecution or something. Man, that's they look rough. Zoom in on those faces. Yikes. Nightmare faces. But at least they're smiling. It's a pleasant face when you're smiling. Don't they look alike in a certain way? Have they had work done on their faces? If they did, they need to get their money back. Well, anyway, she's dead. Rest in peace, Madeleine Albright, I guess. And George Soros, you're a mess. Your son is a mess, too, I heard. I saw a picture of his son. He's relatively young. With DeRay McKesson, the guy from Black Lives Matter. Disgusting. Disgusting. What a lovely couple, yeah. Last little one before I get back to calls, guys. Let me show you, what do I want to show you? Oh, the ADL. Anti-so-called Defamation League. I don't have anything to show you, I don't think. But I read this on, I mentioned this in Hake News. I didn't mention it on the Hake Report. The ADL, Anti-Defamation League, more like Pro-Defamation League, they defame Christians and whites and hate America. They need to be deported or something. They pretend to be for Jewish people. The ADL welcomes the nomination of Steven Dettelbach as director of the ATF. That's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. I'm shaking my head. A position that has been without a head since 2015, I think, if I'm not mistaken. New York, April 11th, 2022, the ADL Anti-Defamation League today congratulated former federal prosecutor Steven M. Dettelbach, who is purportedly white but not a normal white, not a Christian, on his nomination as the next director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives by President Biden. ADL is pleased to support Steve Dettelbach's nomination to direct the ATF. He's also partnered with the ADL to offer victims of anti-Semitic hate crimes pro bono, meaning free, legal assistance. He is a tireless advocate for fighting hate in all forms. That's a lie. That's a lie. If that were the case, then ADL would not be for him, because ADL hates white people, Christians, America, truth, and many other good things, as well as everybody that they purport to stand for, because that's what they are. A fake imitation. They are evil. And apparently, so too is this Steven Dettelbach. Oh, what is this? Dettelbach. CNN was talking about that, by the way. Because, Sleazy Joe is going after gun violence, right? He's an Obama holdover, by the way. He, volunteered for Obama's campaign. Can you get any more of a cringy prosecutor than that? Will probably be a tough confirmation fight. Gun violence and crime have ticked up in the United States, so Joe Biden's going after ghost guns. So dumb. Am I right? Sorry, kids. Let me get to LUKA in Indiana. He's on the line. LUKA, how you doing?
Doing well. Good to be on again.
Nice.
I had to call in. My friend Irma wanted me to call. I turned her on to your show. She's been coming to my live streams lately. She's real cool.
Right on.
Also, shout out to Lady Pauline, Ryan 8U, Lord Bibby, Colin B, all these good folk in your chat today.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Lord Bibby had a good video premiere yesterday. It was lots of fun.
That's cool. Yeah. Bibby42, Lord Bibby42, he's been putting out some interesting videos. I visited his channel for the second time, I guess. And his featured video is roasting of Hake and Nick on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And it is so funny because it's like some classic moments, especially of anchor babies. Nick Stream. Check out Nick Stream on Fridays, guys. Nick Stream YouTube channel. Follow him.
We'll be there.
Of his sparkly blouse hat tip, Lin Yan Chen and everybody else. Somebody called it a figure skating shirt, and it did kind of look like that. Oh my gosh, so funny. I think he kind of outgrew it. That was perhaps one of the main problems, was that he was outgrowing it. You know, he was getting all bulky.
Yeah, he probably ripped that shirt in half with all them muscles.
And other stuff. Muscles and other stuff.
Yeah, we got to convince Lin Yan Chen to call in again. Did you ever hear that time he called in?
I did. And
Nick
he told me
night?
that he said that he called because I told him to. And I didn't exactly tell him to. Yeah, guys, tune into Nick's stream. There's some exclusive content. Lin Yan Chen has never called the Hake Report, to my knowledge, but he called into Nick's stream. That's cool.
Yeah, I remember you were in Nick's chat.
He said something, and I'm like, and I said something to him back. I wasn't saying, oh, call in, but I was saying, oh, do you want to? And
no, you said, do you want to get over your fear of public speaking or something? And so he.
It wasn't. I don't think it was fear of public speaking, but it was something like he doesn't like the sound of his voice or something. I'm like, do you want to get over that? And he did.
Yeah.
He called in. Very brief call. It was cool though.
Yeah, it was at the very end of the show. It was awesome. I hope he calls again one day. I love his insight and words.
Nice. You're probably the only one.
Show.
No, I'm kidding. No, he says he makes some deep points if you can decipher the meaning.
He does. He said something about Nikola Tesla one time, and it was beautiful.
Oh, really? Cool.
Nice,
Nice, man.
he was correcting me when I said that Tesla was in love with a pigeon. He actually wasn't in love with a pigeon. The way Lin Yan Chen explained it was really profound. So.
Oh, cool.
I got more respect for him now.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Good to hear from you. Appreciate
good music.
Appreciate
good
you checking in
lately.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like 6 Organs of Admittance, at least on some level. Their guitar work is cool, and the sound is kind of fun for me.
Cool lyrics sometimes. Very cool vibe they create.
Yeah. Even though they're
right
not
on,
Christian.
Brother. Yeah. Unfortunate.
All right, Luka.
All right, brother.
Take care, man.
Have a great one.
You as
Later.
well. Bye. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to cover today? There was something oh, this was funny. Just a little side note. You know, they're talking about the Don't Say Gay bill over in Florida. I have 2 little news items. One that I saw on this Telegram, TKR official. There's this headline. I don't know what it's from. But in Florida, I've talked about it extensively. They have this parental rights and education bill, which the dumb suckers, the evil people, liars, call it the Don't Say Gay bill. And, the groypers are like, how about a Don't Be Gay bill, Yeah. Well, the parents should be the ones that teach the children the truth, especially fathers. Or tell the children the truth about the world, right? Or guide them when they see evil in the world. Not the teachers or the staff pushing the evil into the children, right? That's right. And so with that in mind, the Florida House and Senate passed this thing, and Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, signed it. So here's this headline, a screenshot of a headline that I saw. Defending Florida's Don't Say Gay bill, Fox's Tucker Carlson says teachers who talk to kids about gender identity should, quote, get beaten up. Nice, it's true. Jesus said similar. If and I'm paraphrasing, if one of these, I saw the chat, somebody chatted it in my live chat on YouTube, and I failed to screenshot it. But Jesus said, if one of you causes one of these children to stumble, it would be better for him or her, right? Because it's women nowadays too, big time, more so than the males. To have a large millstone tied around his neck and be thrown into the sea, than to be misguiding the children. And that's what they're doing. It's so sick. I told you about, man, I'm getting all kinds of phone calls from like spam numbers. I've had like 3 in just the 2 hours that I've been on the show. It's ridiculous. I told you guys, and I mentioned it on my appearance on Asmodor's show, my Saturday interview, about this kindergarten teacher who was lamenting, oh, now I have to, Florida kindergarten teacher, a radical homosexual guy, a mess. I forget his name, but I shared it. Who's lamenting that he has to keep the children at arm's length and he can't share his life with these kids, 5-year-olds. Ridiculous. Why do you have to share it? What a woman thinking, right? Shameful. And speaking of appearances, guys, little announcement. I am going to be on Modern Day Debate this Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And is Disney grooming kids? Oh my gosh. Is Disney grooming kids? James Hake of the Hake Report versus, versus Joe Lewis. I mentioned this yesterday, and the topic has changed from what I said that it was going to be yesterday. I forget what I said it was going to be, but I'm going to be debating against this guy named Joe Lewis, who is Duma Damu on Twitter. Duma Damu, Dumadamu on Twitter. He's a Twitch partner. And I'll be debating him on, is Disney grooming kids? And really, like, the line that was fed to me was, is Disney targeting kids? But grooming, okay, all right. It's spicy. Oh, gosh. Oh, I just saw the thumbnail. Terrible. Oh, my gosh. Reminds me of what Nick Stream was covering on his show recently. But yeah, it's just a picture that's not an appropriate picture from the Little Mermaid cartoon. But anyway, yeah, I'll be that's going to be Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, April 16th, right? That's cool. Very nice. Thank you, Modern Day Debate, James Kuntz over there. Hopefully James Kuntz will be hosting. He's had guest hosts lately. If he has guest hosts, I appreciate those guys too. And I say, yeah, they are. They're not good. They support the gay agenda. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate you tuning in to the Hake Report. Support me on Subscribestar, if you will. And if you support by other means, you're constantly super chatting and supporting and plugging, just send me an email or a DM or a Telegram message or a Twitter, whatever, and I'll send you the link because I appreciate it. I don't want to cheat you guys after you're already supporting so much anyway. But if you like, subscribestar.com/the Hake Report. Thank you guys. Take care.